What's up, gang? Let's talk about that loneliness for real, for real. For the ones going through it. And I'm not talking your typical loneliness, right? I'm not talking about your typical depression. I'm not talking about that loneliness that you experienced at the beginning of your spiritual journey. That's a very different loneliness. A lot of us, I am definitely feeling like a lot of people are in the same energy that I'm in, where it's kind of like, all right, I need my hair creators to tap in on this, but like, this is the difference between that previous loneliness at the beginning of your spiritual journey versus the loneliness that a lot of us are feeling before this shift right now. You know, anybody can attest to this. When you're down to the last bit of lotion or the last bit of product, and there's no product left, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing left, so you start to spread it out, you know what I'm saying? Maybe watering it down to stretch it out for as long as, it can last. Kind of like being a Scrooge. And that's what I would say that first dark night of the soul energy like was giving. Like, trying to stretch all that you had on the outside of you for all it was worth, because there was nothing on the inside to fill it back up, right? And that's what I definitely feel like is the difference between that loneliness and alone hermit energy and this one right here, because a lot of us have filled ourselves up on the inside so much, and now we're at that point where we're waiting for what we've done on the inside to be reflected and mirrored on the outside, and there's a knowing there. That's why the feeling of the loneliness is so much different, because that previous loneliness, it was a loneliness, but there was so much more inner work to do on the inside. You know what I'm saying? We weren't all full on the inside, so when the outside dwindled away, we didn't feel like we were enough to create the life we want. And for a lot of us right now, it's a beautiful thing, because a lot of us have poured into ourselves and poured into ourselves and poured into ourselves, all the way up until the point where it's like, even though things are still falling away, there's that knowing. So we're not carrying ourselves out of fear, making moves out of fear, and being a Scrooge with the things that we have. We're going about life as usual, because there's that knowing that everything that we put out, or everything that we use, everything that we do out of good faith, is going to be returned to us because of the fullness we have on the inside of us. And that's what I was using, that hair product or that lotion, you know what I'm saying, metaphor or analogy, because it's like the feeling that we have now is like, when you have like a little bit of product left in one jar, but you have a whole nother new jar. You know what I'm saying? You don't go skimping when there's a whole new jar coming, and it's giving very much that. And it's a difficult energy, because it's like, it's almost like, as I think about what's coming and things like that, my mind is still being presented challenges and flashbacks from that first dark night of the soul, where nothing really came because I hadn't finished my work on the inside. I expected to see all these great things, but I didn't work on myself. But this time I did. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I wanted to share that with y'all, because I feel like a lot of y'all are feeling that emptiness. You know what I'm saying? Things in your physical world are dwindling away or messing up. Like, I was just thinking I was going to record this video outside, but guess what? Yesterday my phone stand broke. You know what I'm saying? Which really helped me to record anywhere I want to. But then I was like, it matters not. You know what I'm saying? I could have let something like that at the beginning of my dark night of the soul. Something like that would have ruined my day. It would have allowed me not to get my videos out yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Because it broke yesterday before I even started recording. And so it's giving very much that. Even that, I was just like, oh, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Clearly I didn't need it for what I'm going to do. And it's like, that's what the enemy is trying to do in these last days before the shift. Get you to change your mind. You know what I'm saying? Something so significant about this new moon, but like, get you to change your mind about the plan. It's kind of like the same energy about TikTok's algorithm. I don't know if y'all have heard, but all my content creator friends, you got to tap in on this. Especially if you post a lot. Temperance is very significant. I knew it. Patience. Okay. A lot of us are practicing that. But TikTok's algorithm is exactly the same. Like, when you hit a new milestone with how many views you get, the next couple of videos, you'll see the views dwindle down, and then they'll get really low. Not even hitting 100. Maybe at least 90 people see the video, right? But they do that as a test to see that if you're going to still post that next video. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, if you post through those low numbers instead of losing faith, then you're going to hit an even higher milestone. That's how TikTok works. And I learned that pretty early about the app. But also, like, that's how life works as well. When things start to dwindle down, when you have no money, you know what I'm saying? When you don't even have nowhere to lay your head, how are you going to conduct yourself? Because the way it goes is, we're not what happens to us, we're how we respond to it. You know, I could have not posted for a week until I get a new phone stand, right? But that would have showed who I really was, right? So that's why I decided, even though my phone stand broke and that's something that I felt like I needed, I decided to still show up and see what's popping. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I've seen good results as a result of that. Yeah. All right. Let's see if there's any message here. I definitely had to talk about that because I've been feeling it in the energy so much that it's just like, I feel like everything around me is disappearing. But at the same time, whereas before I would have freaked out, I would have made some moves out of fear, you know what I'm saying, out of worry, changed up the plan based on what I'm seeing. But this time, as I have done so much self-work, as I feel full on the inside, I didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to do that. And it's such a powerful and charged energy with it. To all of those who are continuing to create, no matter the circumstances, it's you I commend. Because that's the real shit that's hard to do. It's hard for people to show up when it's hard. You know, it's easy to show up when you're having a good day. But it's hard for, you know, those who decide to push through those bad days and things like that. You're stronger even than like half the people on this earth at that point. Ooh, I sprayed it instead of saying it. Oh, look. 10 of Cups energy. This is how somebody feels on the inside, right? Maybe your outside isn't quite reflecting that. But remember that this is just the end of the hermit mode and the beginning of the Most High showing you what that 10 of Cups looks like on the outside too. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been getting glimpses. To those who are tapped in, to those who are gifted, you know what I'm saying when I say, like, I've been getting glimpses. And I'm just like, oh, it's almost like I can almost reach out and touch it. But it's just like that patience. You know what I'm saying? Something very significant about the 8 of Pentacles, letting me know that whoever is tapping into this message, especially this far, the 10 of Pentacles energy is coming from whatever you decided to master. You know what I'm saying? Mastery comes from like a pursued interest. Somebody pursued one of their top interests and became a master at it. Sort of like how last year, around the time of April, and a lot of people don't believe that I've only been reading since April last year. Like, that's around the time I learned, but it's very much true. Like, I pursued my interest and now I'm a master. But pursuing your interest, even at the times that they're hard, you know what I'm saying? That's what gave somebody this 10 of Cups feeling on the inside, pursuing it no matter what. Because somebody could have easily gave up several times on the way here, but somebody here also knew that if they did give up, you wouldn't be so full on the inside. You feel me? It just wouldn't be so full. And it's giving now people are going to watch this shift. This shift that is going to come from this rock bottom feeling, how we blasting off, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people are going to witness that. And it is going to be through the Most High. You know what I'm saying? However the Most High played it out, you know? For some of y'all, it's going to be very much like a movie. Very much out of a movie. And I have like a lot of energy. Like it's woo, like I have a lot of pent up energy, and I'm trying to get it out in a message, which is why I felt like coming on here to talk to y'all about it. But like, I definitely feel it, and I know a lot of y'all feel it too. And all I want to say is good luck on the way, baby. Okay? If you made it all the way to the end, don't forget to comment and let me know if you relate to the energy. All right, we got the Knight of Cups energy here. Somebody is also about to be offered a team. Somebody ain't gonna be with just their spirit team no more. Something like that. Somebody's spirit team is aligning them with a team or something like that. Because somebody finally separated from somebody they weren't supposed to be around. All right. Something about that. Thanks so much for tapping in. Don't forget to like, and if you want to see lengthier readings, I'm on YouTube doing lengthier readings all the time. Turn your post notifications on if you want to see me going live on either platform. And I guess with that, I'm out y'all's hair. Peace.